everyone. Welcome to Wednesday Night Undressed. I am Louis, your host, and I have a plethora of people here with me today. Today, I have Fernando, Greg,
hello,
Cassidy,
hi,
Alex,
hey,
Boyan,
hello,
Constantine,
hey,
Sofia, Jane,
Hello.
Meredith,
What up, though?
Julian, and Chris. All right, and Evo should hopefully be joining us here in a second. So I'm going to start off this party with asking about the biggest news on the planet right now. We finally have a president, or an ex-president, that has been arraigned, indicted, and arrested. This is the first time this has ever happened. The first time we've ever had a former U.S. president charged with a crime. What do you personally think is the significance of the indictment and arraignment? Anybody want to volunteer to start? Okay, you, Fernando, go for it.
Well, that was great news. I think it's far too late for a guy that, as far as we know, like, it's a crook, like, from since he born, and impeached twice. And this case is kind of, like, weird. I'm curious to see the outcome. And there is a lot of mystery in, even what the attorney disclose what really make the 34 counts. But it's very interesting because they kind of pace him down there. In theory, he's gonna have a series of restrictions that he can't share evidence, he can't post crap about it. It will be very interesting to see the outcome of this overall.
nice to see you.
And he's a big enabler. The guy, he can't quiet himself, and that's a good start. And then I want to see the other cases go through as fast as possible and see the outcome. It's very interesting. I heard a bunch of things that pretty much this case is already, the statute of limitation would be applied already. They can make a case for really hop out of it. But I'm just excited. That's good news, and it's huge. And I'm excited.
So I'm going to just kind of admit to everybody that Meredith and I talked about this prior to coming to the podcast because, yeah, I know, shocking, right? And so
Trump got arrested. Of course I was going to follow you, dude.
So I'm going to come back to Meredith because I know where you're going to go with this. But first of all, first question is going to be, is there anybody that's frightened by the fact that we've just arrested a former U.S. president?
frightened?
Frightened.
No.
Think that it might be a scary precedent. Go ahead, Chris.
Depends on what you're frightened of. I mean, I don't see it as a scary precedent. I think that if there is credible evidence of anyone committing a crime, it should be investigated to the fullest extent of the law. That's, I think what's most right about this is that it's an indication that in this country, no one is above the law. I'm afraid of what the crazy followers of this man might do if he actually if he's convicted. I mean, I can see what he's going to likely would be to plead down because, from my understanding, he's pretty much guilty of the misdemeanors. So, in the classic sense, like if you're watching Law and Order, they always charge more, hoping that somebody will plead down, so they get a lesser sentence, et cetera, which he could do, but then that admits that he actually did something wrong, and he's never going to do that. And I can see him riling up his supporters to do really, really dumb things, or, what I hate about the incitement speech that the Supreme Court has set up, because it doesn't cover just over and over and over again saying death and destruction, and this is ruining our country, and et cetera, until somebody just says, oh, yeah, let's go, bring the guns, the jackbooted thugs are here, let's go, yeehaw!
All right, so I want to highlight a couple of new names that people have not heard before. We have joining with us tonight Alex's two sons, Boyan and Constantine. Say hi to our listeners.
Hello.
Hello.
Awesome. Okay, guys, so you are both coming at this question, which you've only seen in the last, 5 minutes, from the position of high schoolers, and you guys are Canadian high schoolers, right?
That's true.
So, like, A, do you guys have any clue of like what's going on here with the whole Trump situation? Is this news A in Canada, and is it news for like high schoolers in Canada? Like, do you guys care? And trust me, right now, we don't care. It's a completely acceptable answer.
Politics aren't really a big issue, especially ones that happen in the U.S. In Canada. Like, this is the first time I've heard about his indictment was actually in a hotel when we arrived here, so I had no clue about it. But his presidency was pretty highly televised and popular in Canada, especially because of his attitude toward Canada and more or less the entire kind of United States, Canada, Mexico alliance, how he was going to deal with that. So that was a big issue there. And his presidency was looked down upon, at least from my perspective and from many of my peers. So it was kind of interesting to see him actually getting indicted for some of the things he did because some of the things he did were just plain crazy. I don't know if you guys would agree with me, but some of them were just like really, really out there.
100%.
We're all the same, I guess.
Yeah.
So, Boyan, what about you? Like,
So I heard of the news from my friend in the school, from my school, and like that's the only time I heard from it. And then I looked it up. And I saw he was like under multiple charges, but I don't know what he was under for. But it was pretty shocking to me because I never saw a president actually be like charged and actually have a chance of going to jail.
thank you. Alex, has there been a history of corrupt politicians in Canada? Is this something that the Canadian people are familiar with?
I think you'd be highly pressed to find a country that is not corrupt, considering the entire world has some form of corruption. But
Right.
I'd like to think, although obviously I'm Canadian, so this probably means nothing, but that Canada is not corrupt. But I mean, obviously, every country has its issues. It's not as corrupt as other nations.
Yeah.
As the average, I'd say it was less. But obviously, many of you here would probably disagree with me, seeing as how you're outside looking in, and I'm still inside of the box. So I'm not quite clear what's going on from the outside.
What about you, Alex?
I should say that the scale is different. Like the total people living in Canada is less than the total people living in California. It's like 33, 34 million people in Canada. In California, the latest census is 39 million people. But so the scale of corruption is different, like 1 to 10, I should say. But speaking about Trump, it's interesting that he's not the first president who was indicted. How about Richard Nixon? How about Bill Clinton? You know, Bill Clinton was indicted for lying under oath about his relationship with Monica Lewinsky, and he was almost into the impeachment route. The same with Richard Nixon and Watergate scandal. You know that at the end of the day, he was almost impeached before he resigned, and as a private citizen keep these tapes. That's very widely known case. So speaking of that, I think the biggest guilt of Trump is not that he's paying to this lady, nothing illegal about it, unless I mean the prostitution in some of the states is illegal, so that's something that should be considered. But I think he used the money from his campaign to do that, which is the no thing.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Ivanov, how are you doing today?
Good.
Good. Well, glad to see it. What is? Do you have any thoughts on the significance of the indictment and the arraignment itself?
Well, it's unprecedented. I mean, impeachment and indictment are slightly different. Nixon was pardoned, by the way, by Gerald Ford, which I think was a crime.
Yes.
So that was kind of a travesty. And then I think this is only the second president that has ever been arrested. Ulysses Grant was arrested for speeding, famously on a horse carriage too. So this is quite amazing. Although you look around the world, frankly, in Europe, it's harder to find a country, Europe, Northern Africa, where a president hasn't been in jail.
Italy.
Italy, Berlusconi was constantly in trouble with the law and has multiple criminal charges against him. You know, Sarkozy was committed a crime that was sued and lost and all that stuff. Charles Taylor is currently in prison and will spend the rest of his life in prison. The president of Liberia, Hosni Mubarak, was in prison. Inácio Lula da Silva, the current president of Brazil, was in prison. I believe Dilma Rousseff was in prison too.
I hope it goes quick.
You know, all over Europe, we've had rich history of corruption, crimes against humanity throughout history, and multiple presidents and prime ministers being jailed for it. We were kind of unprecedented in terms that we have not had that happen.
Right.
And because we were supposedly a beacon of democracy and unwritten rules and emoluments clauses and all those things that are really the flagship of our democracy. And all of these things, there's always times when a guy shows up, one person that believes they're above everything, above the law, above reproach, above religion, above everything. We have a guy who in the morning looks in the mirror and believes he sees Adonis.
I'm talking about me right now.
Well, we're not talking, yeah, that's a different story, you know.
More than one guy.
But he never, I mean, you have a despotic president who believed that all of his life, since the moment he was born, that there will never be consequences for anything he does. And frankly, there hasn't been consequences. This is a guy who vigorously broke the law since he was a child. And time and again, there was no consequences. So now he's in shock. For the first time in his life, there's consequences. And I believe this will open floodgates because this is the first of many trials to come his way. These 34 counts of campaign violation and financial crimes is just the beginning. His true biggest crime is in Georgia because he put pressure on the governor and secretary of state in Georgia to stuff the ballot box. And this is a massive crime against democracy and against the Constitution of the United States. And we have recording. He clearly put pressure on at least 5 more states, but there's no recording. Here we have somebody recorded him. And this is going to be serious trouble for him. The top secret documents is going to be the next one that he hid at Mar-a-Lago. And the difference, of course, is that Joe Biden, who also had top secret documents, surrendered them immediately and admitted the mistake. This guy went through the documents, refused to give them away, claimed that he declassified them by thinking about it, and imagining that they're not top secret anymore.
Lied to his attorneys that they were
Yes.
all turned over.
Repeatedly refused to surrender them to archives, and then last week inexplicably went on Sean Hannity, this piece of crap, and Sean Hannity, his dear friend Sean Hannity and a lackey, decided to throw him some softball questions and let him slide and said, hey, with those top secret documents, you didn't know, right? You didn't really know. And Trump said, no, I knew they were top secret, but you didn't mean to keep them. He said, no, of course I meant to keep them. And Sean Hannity said, but I know you. You wouldn't do like something like this deliberately. And Trump, you know what Trump said? He said, of course I knew. And I wanted to keep them. And also, Richard Nixon got paid $18 million for documents that he had. So clearly, he stole these documents out of greed, out of pity, greed. That's how small this human being is. He wanted to cash in on some supposed billionaire. So that's how I feel. I feel this is just the beginning. These 34 counts are the beginning of many more counts. And it's going to get interesting.
So I'm going to switch over to Sofia now because you are coming at this from the mindset of a teenager here in America. Is this a big deal for high schoolers here?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, it is. It's a big deal. I am not in many social circles in high school. In my social circle, it's a big deal. I don't know how the other people in my school feel. I know there are some people who are probably pretty upset and being like, "Oh, like free Trump." Like, okay, whatever. They're in the fishing club. They're interesting. They're but I mean,
I love that.
no. So some of my friends are incredibly involved in politics already, like especially in local politics. I have one of my friends is the one of the co-founders of the NAACP chapter here that they just revived. So it's like it's a very big deal for my friends. I don't know much about it. I've been very busy with a bunch of other stuff, but I've been hearing a lot about it. And I saw that Sean Hannity interview, and Trump kept saying, but if I were, it would be my right to do that. I would be able to. And Sean Hannity had to keep cutting him off to stop him from admitting his crime.
Self-incriminating.
Yeah.
Sofia, can I add something? I forgot to mention that Trump is notoriously known for not paying anyone, not paying his construction workers, not paying his lawyers, not paying anyone. The one person he paid put him in jail. Isn't that's irony, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No.
Miss Meredith, I've been wanting to get some other folks because I know what you're going to say, but what do you now? I do. Well, put it this way, I knew what you were going to say before we all sat down at this table. So
Lewis is all-knowing. Did you not know that?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, because I give him a daily download.
So, what do you think the significance of this arrest and arraignment is going to be?
What the significance of it is, earlier, Alex, I think you had said that we had other people indicted. We've had other presidents impeached, but not actually brought up on criminal charges because Richard Nixon was pardoned before criminal charges were ever brought. So just to clarify that. I think it's actually super significant that we are doing this because I think it's upholding the idea of democracy. And I like that it's a state charge and there's nothing his little hidden pocket pardon can do about it. And I think it's a slam dunk case. I mean, the SDNY has a 97% conviction rate. I don't see, and I know you feel differently, I don't see how Trump doesn't go to jail for this. It's a serious charge. I don't care that he's a first-time offender. So was Alan Weisselberg. So was Michael Cohen. And these people are all in jail. And you mentioned to me that you think Biden will pick up the phone and say, don't do this. I don't see that happening. I just don't see that happening. And on top of that, I think, though, there's 8 months before the court date for this. So there's a lot more that's going to come before this, which I think will kind of help to build the resolve of the idea that there's no way this man can go to, there will be more that continues to come.
Speaking of Canada and the population decline in Canada, we can help boost the population of Canada if we elect Trump one more time. We'll have at least 20, 30 more million people in Canada.
No, it's okay. I'll stay here and fight because I can't do that.
But Canada might build a wall.
No,
Canada might build a wall to keep Americans out.
Mr. Greg, my fellow attorney, my study buddy in law school.
That's right.
What do you think? Have you followed this at all? And it's, again, completely fair to say this is all bullshit. I haven't touched it.
Sure. I admittedly, it's certainly very far from an area that I find particularly interesting or an area that I would consider myself remotely an expert in. One of the things that I do think is going to be interesting is in terms of lasting long-term impacts, like you say, I would be pretty surprised if some portion of this didn't get appealed to the Supreme Court, especially in cases like this where it's kind of a case of first impression. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if there were even interlocutory appeals, basically staying something to figure it out at the Supremes to then come back, which would draw out the process further. But it'll be interesting to see. I suspect law school students 10 or 15 years from now will be, I was going to say even shorter potentially, going through this in their constitutional law classes because it affects the Constitution to some extent.
How does it affect the Constitution? 'Cause nowhere in the Constitution does it say that the president, current or former, cannot be investigated, indicted, prosecuted, and jailed.
Sure. No, I guess what I'm trying to get at is I suspect it will still be taught in constitutional law classes in that it still has to do with the powers of the executive compared to the legislative and judicial, even though it's a former president. I could be wrong. I'm just saying I suspect.
I'm just curious how you would arrive at that because, to my opinion, I mean, I don't think this really has much to do. This case in particular has any much to do with the balance of power of any of the branches of government. This is like a business crime. Like they prosecute this crap all the time. So I don't see how that. Now I could see where in some of the other cases, like the Fulton case, that would definitely create some sort of constitutional situation. My thing that I think is like the only thing that would really affect the Constitution is whether or not he's allowed to continue to run for president while being convicted, which is not a guarantee.
To put it in the Constitution,
Right? That is
someone
not a
who's
guarantee.
Currently under indictment, cannot run for president. That'd be a great.
It's not.
Early.
No. There's a guy who ran for president back in 1920 from prison and got 1 million votes. So, like,
I would
that's
say
the freaky
if you
part.
served your time, and then you can run for president after that. But if you're under indictment or you're serving time for a crime, then no, you can't be president.
I don't even know what to do about after, man. Because I feel like I don't want John Wayne Gacy running for freaking president.
Here's an awesome scenario, guys.
I'm just saying, though.
Awesome scenario. Trump runs for president from jail, which he's allowed to do. He gets elected, which is plausible, and immediately pardons himself as when he's elected.
Right? These are problems that we don't know how to fix.
That's a constitutional.
Thank you for breaking this because I literally have been my ADD ever since you spoke. I'm not even kidding. My leg has been going because I can't focus. I can't even look at you without laughing. I'm like, you said this man looks in the mirror every day, and all I thought to myself was SNL, Stuart Smalley. I am good enough.
I'm strong enough.
Smart enough, and doggone it, people love me.
Yes.
That's all I could think about. I've been doing this ever since, and nobody can say anything. That's all I think about. So thank you for letting me break that silence.
Al Franken has a great podcast, by the way. Stuart,
Jane, I was actually gonna come to you next because I want to know if you are seeing this in school.
Not really.
This topic is coming up.
Not really. I mean, not really. Funny enough, we're talking about prom. We're talking about, people aren't really talking about this. The funnest thing that I've heard lately is my friend from England going, she's a stay-at-home mom. So we're starting to pay attention to the news again. I'm so excited to see what this asshat's going to do today. That's basically that's all I've heard in the past few days. Other than,
awesome.
Pretty much it.
Asshat. That's perfect term.
Lou, you and Greg Esquire, can you guys explain to us the difference between misdemeanor and felony? Because all 34 counts were elevated to felony.
No.
You can't explain. You can't explain it. It's fine line or what?
When it comes to like state law, I think it's typically when it comes to the sentence is really part of what matters. If it's over, again, I think this is Kansas. It's if it's over a year of what you're looking at for potential sentencing, I think it's typically going to be considered a felony. Otherwise, it's typically considered a misdemeanor. Is that your understanding?
Yeah. Based on the fine and the amount of jail time that you're looking at. So, Julian, how you doing, man?
He was in shock.
He's playing chess with me, for the record.
Gotcha.
Using Instagram.
Yeah, Greg and I use Lee Chess, just so that you know.
It's just more convenient.
I understand. So, have you guys been following this whole Trump thing at all?
I heard that he got arrested. I tried to find out how many felonies there is in New York, and I didn't find out. I was going to say if there was like 60, I was going to ponder to how you could commit like half the felonies in a whole state. You got to like try for that. Otherwise, I really don't care that much.
That is a completely acceptable answer. I'm gonna then move over to your buddy, your checkmate.
Oh, by the way,
Cassidy.
I'm winning.
He just learned how to play last week. That's
Right.
an accomplishment.
What do you think, Cass?
Well, first of all, I don't know how to play chess, but
Yeah.
if you're talking about the whole question and everything,
Yeah, the question, the whole point of us being here.
checkers is better. Anyway,
Wait, I was here for the burgers.
Well, yeah, but we made you get on the mic. I understand. That's kind of how it happened.
so like I remember, one like distinct memory is my mom was like sitting on the couch, right? And she was telling me about like do you remember January 6th? That little event that happened?
That little thing?
You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that happened and my mom was like sitting in the same position. She was like, like a bunch of years ago, 2 years ago, I was sitting in the same position with a blanket when January 6th happened.
returns.
And she was like, this is kind of a little silly and crazy. And this is, yeah. So I don't know if she was like fearing for like protesters or something, but yeah. Also, it's cool that he got arrested.
I think so. So we've kind of danced around you mentioned that like you and I disagree. We don't disagree on the significance of it and the importance of it. I think you, Meredith,
No, we disagree on the sentencing.
We disagree on the sentencing. Yeah, I'm pretty solidly convinced that like this is probably not going to lead to jail time for Trump.
So my dearest, I actually was watching Sunny Hostin, a legal analyst, talk about this earlier today, former DOJ prosecutor. And she said part of what people need to understand about being a prosecutor is that they are not just there to prosecute the crime, they are also there to send a message. And so if you literally lock up the two other people who helped him commit this crime and then do not lock him up, if this case were being tried in Texas, I could see that happening. I don't see that happening in New York. Sorry. It's my...
So the thing that gives me hope...
I mean, he'd have to violate sentencing standards. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Are you sure?
Maybe. I don't know. I could get impassioned again. I don't know.
The thing that gives me hope is exactly what Evo said, that this is going to be the first. Essentially, there has been no state, no federal entities either, and federal entities are still going to be outside the scope of this set of lawsuits. But there's been no state that's been willing to raise a suit against a former U.S. president. Like, Trump is easily not the first corrupt ex-president that we've had. He's just...
He's the one who didn't have any shame about it.
He's just hilariously corrupt. And so now that New York has started the proceedings, we're going to see the Georgia suit. We're going to see all these different suits come up that Trump doesn't have executive power or executive influence over. And so it is my hope, it is my belief that we're not going to see the kind of results that what I think a rational person would want to see out of this case. But I think that over the next 2-3 years, we're actually going to see a reckoning with this man and his horrible behavior. But I would be pleasantly surprised if it happened in this first go round.
I mean, I'm not saying he's going for 10 years or something. I mean,
I'm shocked at 6 months.
In a little freaking minimal facility thing with a Secret Service guy sitting in a car in the parking lot, and then he gets out and goes. I'm not saying he's going to jail forever. I'm just saying.
Right.
None is not realistic.
Speaking of ridiculous abuses of the legal system, I don't know if you guys saw that. I saw it when I looked it up. There was a bunch of news. Apparently, Stormy Daniels had to pay $100 and some thousand for his legal fees for filing a frivolous suit. He had to pay over $1 million a few months ago for filing a frivolous lawsuit.
Yeah.
It's going to end up paying a lot more than that.
The judge was pissed.
You guys explain this to me because we have two lawyers here on the panel, and you explain to me how this is not a stochastic terrorism, what he did with Alvin Bragg, with the picture with the baseball bat, and yesterday his despicable speech where he basically... sent his attack dogs, his cult, after the judge, after the prosecutor, after his wife, and after his daughter. And his demented sons did the same, and even published a picture of his daughter, and sent the stupid, crazed, weapon-worshipping hound dogs after these people. How is that not a crime. And isn't there something in our legal system that would enforce a gag order, at least, on this idiot and his sons?
No, don't put a gag order on him. Let him hang himself.
Right? I say let him go.
His mouth run because
Boom.
it will put him in jail.
It'll write him a check he
It will
can't
keep
cash.
him out of the office. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The more he mouths off, the worse it is for him.
I gotta tell you, who should be the most pissed right now? Former presidents, the Secret Service. They go to Hawaii. They watch Obama water ski. They go to, and the Secret Service that is assigned to this idiot is now going to sing.
I said the same thing.
So,
Like, you fucked up with your gun. You're going to protect Trump.
I think the short answer, Evo, is like, this is definitionally like terroristic activity.
Stochastic terrorism.
The tricky position is that, and this is essentially the core of Meredith's and my disagreement.
Yeah.
Like, people in power don't like prosecuting people in power.
Yeah.
You just simply are not going to. You're going to see Trump get away with a hell of a lot more than Chris would, simply because of the level of connections that he has.
Mind you, this
And
is
the
also
money.
the same judge who convicted or who sentenced Alan Weisselberg. So I'm just saying, this is the very same judge who already sentenced his buddy. That's all I'm saying.
His lawyer was in jail because of that.
Right.
Michael Cohen was in jail for this. That's right.
Yeah.
Michael Cohen. And then, Manafort was in jail. Steve Bannon was in jail. Roger Stone was. Everybody around him, his entire entourage, served time. He pardoned most of them, but he's the only
Now he
one
ain't
that
gonna have
escaped.
nobody to talk to in jail.
Michael Flynn.
I think that whether or not he goes to jail, this, along with his presidency during COVID-19, will be one for the history books.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Amen. Yeah.
In a very bad way.
Blueprint of what not to do. So,
Well, bad or good will be judged by future
Orange brain.
generations, I
No,
feel.
I mean, there's kind of some funny stuff where, like, I've seen some conservatives be like, well, yeah, the Joe Biden, like, eviction moratorium, the Joe Biden this, the Joe Biden that. A lot of that was under Trump. It
Almost all of it.
started under Trump.
all right. So I'm going to end the conversation. We're going to move on. We're going to actually try to get a second topic. For the last 3 weeks, we've not done more than one topic. So we're going to try to get a second topic in this week. I'm just going to end with the joke that I saw on Reddit. That was, for me, awesome. The joke was, so out of those 34 charges, like, there's a majority of them that Trump got indicted for that a normal person wouldn't get indicted for. I guess orange is the new black.
That's funny. That's
All right.
funny.
All right. So moving on. We're going to talk about social media posts. So everybody's got to hate at least one kind of social media post. So I'm going to exclude political posts because everybody gets sick of those, and ask the question, what is one kind of post you would get rid of if you could get rid of one type of social media post? How about you, Fernando?
QAnon.
QAnon. That would be a good one.
Still kind of political.
Huh?
Yeah, it's still
Conspiratorial.
Yeah, let's
No.
Well,
It's-
the rumors that QAnon spreads are of a political nature. So I think I might vote with the panel here and say that that's probably too political.
Okay.
Pick something else.
I mean, ban everything that's, the hate or misinformation.
Misinformation, yeah.
Misinformation is not always political.
I
Yeah.
would agree with that.
I mean, it can be like, there is always people selling the snake oil and...
Yeah.
I mean, snake oil always exists. I mean, and you don't need to see it on social media. You have advertisement as well. Like, watch TV late night on open on the airwaves. There is bullshit all over the place on
You're
snake
going to
oil.
tell me that my dick pills don't work next, aren't you?
I'm afraid
Yes.
so. It's all in your head.
That's what the pills are for.
You don't need the pills. It's all in your head.
What about you,
He
Chris?
repeated it.
Well, when Fernando talked about the QAnon post, that kind of made me think about what's the question here? Because what's a type of a social media post? Because the question is it the type of post or is it the information in the post?
Let's go with the information in the post.
If that's the case, then none, because that's basically censorship and, let the market of ideas fight it out. I mean, if
you're
somebody...
saying that if you were emperor, you would just let say let people talk about what they want to talk about, you wouldn't make anything off limits?
I would keep laws for like slander and libel. So if you slander somebody on a social media post, they get to sue your ass. But
So, like, if I was emperor, nobody could talk about my dick pills. Like, that would be one.
Or
of
if
the
you
things
say
I would
dick
make-
pills one more time.
there's a difference between there's definitely a difference between criticism and providing evidence that's says that the dick pills don't work, as opposed to just slandering the dick pills as useless pieces
Bro,
of trash.
like I'm gonna say coochie pills for every time y'all say dick pills, okay? Like
I have a
one up,
feeling
your
that
mama.
What you're alluding
Seriously,
to
in
is
fact,
kind
like,
of Elon
lasting
Musk's
more than
kind
4
of reign
hours.
over Twitter,
Consult your doctor.
which is exactly like Elon Musk. What he's doing with Twitter is like nothing. You can't get like your Twitter account shut down for being like racist or anything on Twitter now, which is kind of like what you're alluding to, that you can say anything and there's no censorship or anything being taken down.
Yeah, but I'm never
It
going
will
to
get-
run a social media company,
It
so
will
I'll
get
let
taken
other
down
people
if
do
you
that.
criticize
And if
Elon.
and if,
Yeah, I was gonna
and,
say.
if, and if Twitter was to institute all kinds of rules about what they allow on their site, that's Twitter's prerogative.
Okay, hold on. I'm very interested in this. Little girl said, "Why do they always have to do this? Why do they actually just delve it? Just go."
Yeah. Answer the damn question. Stop getting philosophical about this shit. It doesn't matter. We are sitting around like 5 tables with microphones, eating and drinking on a Wednesday night, talking about questions. Stop. Just answer the damn question.
Sorry, we actually have 6 tables.
I was gonna say, I literally thought the
Just-
same thing.
There'll
It's
be-
actually 6.
Imagine, it would be so weird, the 5 tables. It doesn't make sense.
Also, for the record, it's not night yet.
Not yet.
All right,
And I
Sophia.
did answer the question. I said none.
All right, Sophia, you
So
volunteered.
here's
we'll-
my
we'll-
real answer that's actually good and answers the question. Okay, I actually have a few, but I'll pick one. So one of the worst offenders to my eyes is on TikTok. There are these people who will make thirst traps of them cooking. So they don't actually show you the recipe. They don't show you like they don't show you the
Why does this bring back memories of something about lumberjacks as well? Didn't we have this discussion?
It is horrific. Some of the things that they are doing to this food that is allowed on the platform. It's terrible.
Not that the food is being tortured.
No, it is genuinely, they are like caressing the food so sensually. I'm like, can you give me the damn recipe or move on?
So you don't like TikTok food molestation
No, 'cause-
videos? Is what we're getting at here.
Because here's the thing, right? Is they'll have in like in 1/5 of the frame, they'll have a leaf of spinach, and then it'll be them shirtless, like posing so specifically so they can like make it seem casual, but it's not. Oh my god.
So you
It's
don't
so
enjoy
like
food
a
models?
Simpsons.
No, I hate food models. And they make eye contact with the camera. They're staring in your soul. And you try and like look in the comments. You try and like go in the comments to hide from them.
The
but they're-
muscles and they coming for your soul.
Their eyes are always looking over the comment section. You can't like escape it. Every time I click not interested, they show me more.
You know how many people right now are going,
Yes. They suck and I think we should ban them forever. Forever.
All right, so
That question, that answer
is
wins.
perfect. Yeah,
the game.
I don't know that anybody else can compare, but I'm gonna give some folks a chance. Anybody got a competition with the TikTok food porn?
I'm too intimidated by that answer.
I'm also a little embarrassed that I don't know about this genre of TikTok. I mean, I was just gonna say I'm tired of that
It's
guy that
terrible.
always is like, "Do you do cardio to lose weight?" Every time my YouTube video starts, I hate that dude.
Yeah.
I hate that dude. I'm
I think-
so tired of him.
I think one of the worst things is people impersonating others. Like I've seen so many fake Mr. Beast visit this like website for $100. I think apart from like being borderline literally like stealing someone's identity, that should be just like either illegal or just taken off the platform, because there's so many, and it's hard to believe that that's actually like legal and people actually like make money off of that, taking other people's like aesthetic, other
right?
people's like entire like personality to try to make a quick buck.
And when they suck, it's even worse.
Oh my
That's
God.
like the bad part. Like somebody's got 2,000 videos of bad impressions. Like it makes no sense whatsoever. Anybody?
There's so many things that should be banned immediately from social media. There's no I have an endless list. Endless list.
us a couple.
All food should be banned. All food.
Okay, well, slow down.
Congratulations, you had pancakes for breakfast. What a fucking achievement! I'm so incredibly impressed.
Sometimes
oh my
I post them
God.
so I can remember what I ordered the next time I go to the restaurant.
Oh
I'm not
my
gonna lie.
fucking God. There's an endless army of assholes. Endless army of assholes. Some of them good friends of mine. who post. Okay, let's say this. Just recently, February. It's the month of February. They're in front of a mirror with their cell phone, flexing their abs, super proud of their abs and their biceps, and holding a picture of Martin Luther King and saying, "Let's support Black History Month." Do you know? There's a variation of this picture all the time. All the time. Ban those, man. It is ridiculous. There was a famous, there was a kind of a famous picture of Taliban. It was like about 20 scary-looking Talibans in Afghanistan in the mountains, grizzled, with nasty hair, with giant beards, with food items in their beards, holding AK-47s, literally blood on their hands, scary-looking dudes. I don't know, whoever this photographer that took that picture is a brave man. I did a Photoshop of this picture just because I hate so fucking much when August comes and everybody starts posting feet on a beach pictures. Oh my fucking God, I hate those feet on a beach
You did
with
one
a
of those, Greg?
cocktail.
I see that face.
With little umbrellas, cocktail, and their feet on. Yes, I know, you're great. You're enjoying this.
Have you seen the ones where they put the little Vienna sausages out?
Oh, I took a picture of my feet and I photoshopped my feet in front of that Taliban picture. and I said, I'm enjoying my vacation too. I gotta find that.
Agree with you, though. I mean, there's a subset of society who just can't post a picture unless it has their feet in it. It's just I don't know if it's like a feet thing or you just don't take good pictures.
Picture was cute, bro, and I want you to appreciate it.
That's a fetish.
Ban them. I don't care if it's censorship.
This is the best
why I
way to
stay
stay
off
away from
social
all
media.
these. Just don't use social media.
Ben is here! Yay!
I don't use anything apart from YouTube.
I'm curious what Julian and Cassie think.
Yes.
Yeah, Julian.
I do not.
Do you have any hated social media posts?
I have two remarks. Number one, we drawed in chess, in case you were wondering. It's because Cassidy ran out of time. I had 3 minutes and 38 seconds left. And Cassidy,
You need to make a move, by the way. The clock is ticking.
Oh, that's a good point. But also, just softcore porn, it's just annoying.
You can get up and leave the table right now.
He is disappointed in you now, son.
You're gonna talk about softcore in front of your dad?
No, what I mean is
And wait, his dad was disappointed.
and on Twitch, there's the live streaming service. If you haven't watched anything, all it is hot tub streams where it's women in bikinis trying to lure
Where is
you.
this located?
We're gonna need a specific web address right
Can
now.
you share me that address?
And it's just
Softcore porn is a disgrace. Like Arnold said, softcore means you haven't done enough sit-ups. You need strong core.
Miss Cassie.
Hardcore.
Hold
What
on.
was the question?
Question is, if you could get rid of some type of social media post, or I'll say it quickly, what kind of social media post annoys you?
Talk.
Yay!
Use
I won!
words.
I
Push
won!
pause on your
I won the chess game. Anyway.
It's because I disconnected. Look, take
Okay.
Okay, anyway. So, I really hate the social media posts where people are just there. I hate ASMR, Me personally, I hate
agree.
it.
Yeah.
I also hate ASMR.
Lo-fi music.
Also.
I do hate lo-fi
Okay,
music.
Greg, I'm feeling ways about you right now. That's
Lo-fi is
I don't
bad.
know if you were here when we actually had the
it's
lo-fi
just like lame white
discussion.
people music. Yeah, share what you said.
So yeah, we actually had this as a discussion point.
Okay.
And
Cancel me.
Meredith, my friend Meredith, and my friend Cassie are just completely wrong on.
No. We're super duper
Lo-fi
right.
music is just like
Stupid.
bad.
Okay, I think you guys are using it wrong. I don't like it, but I have so many people in my class that just use it just for studying. That's what it's for.
Yeah, but like it's not even useful for studying. Like when I'm
Well, it depends who you
listening
So
to
are you saying that classical music would be better than the lo-fi?
No,
I
I'm
actually,
talking about,
I
like,
do say that. I study the classical
Me
music
personally,
background.
I actually listen to music. I don't know why. It just the lyrics don't mess
Are
up
we
when I'm
talking about classical
reading.
music?
They don't mess up when I'm
Go for it,
writing. I just listen to my music. How
Go
it
for it,
is.
Sophia.
Are we gonna talk about classical music?
Go for it.
I'll do a little. Classical music. Where do I start? Okay. Sorry. I can't listen to classical music to study because obviously I study the classical music like that. In my head, I have to be paying attention or I'm like enjoying it too much. So that's why I like to listen to lo-fi because I can't do classical music like when I'm just like in the background. I have to, if I recognize it, then I'm like, oh, I know the song, or like I have to study it or I have to listen to it.
Okay, Sophia, you're the first person I'm willing to give a pass to this on, but that gives no excuses
Okay.
for Lewis and Greg.
That's okay. I appreciate that.
Julian, you had a comment?
Okay. So I just want to say my thing with lo-fi is that it's just not of my taste. Like I don't listen to calm music. The music I enjoy is basically full of just people screaming. That's not an exaggeration. Like half the songs I listen to, it has some guy just screaming.
Give you
Not
some
that
names.
tracks.
Give
Like
some
he's-
names.
Like he screams stuff.
Some names.
AMV by Little Darky.
Okay.
It's literally just him
Did
screaming.
you just say Little Darky?
Yeah.
Isn't it Black Women's History Month, Cassie? You didn't nail him on that one?
That's his name.
That is his name in Julian's defense.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just him screaming for like 3 minutes and 28 seconds. And
That's impressive.
Like screaming?
If it's a straight scream, that's pretty
the only
impressive.
type, the only type of ASMR I think we should remove is the ones where people eat like live squids. Because that's just like animal cruelty.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Oh yeah.
Boyan, how about you? Do you have a hated social media genre of posts?
I'm not on social media that much. I only use like Discord to talk to my friends. So I don't. I watch some YouTube, but the one that I hate the most is just ads. Yeah, on YouTube, there's a lot of ads.
Ads in general. Just
Please
no
space
And they
the
updated
description.
it. Now there's 15-second unskippable ads. And
Isn't it
and I think they upped the price of premium.
insane? Yes.
Eight
yes.
It's like
minute video.
$15 a month.
I signed up for premium to get rid of the ads, but now I still get ads, like just short ones, but still, it pisses me off. We've got a visitor. Mr. Ben, how you
I
doing?
didn't have a good answer. Oh wait. Oh yeah. Fake authenticity posts. You know,
Fake authenticity. Give us
where they're like,
a-
oh, here's a real authentic thing, and it's like all the dope things that they do, but they pretend like they're
the
not
humble
dope.
brags.
Yeah.
Humble brags. Yeah.
Shrouded.
I thought you were talking about the people with the fake diamond things, where they have like fake diamond testers or something, and then they just make like beeping noises with their mouth to pretend like it's real diamonds.
Or the one that's driving me crazy right now. It's an ad, but it's an ad where they start by saying, I hate it when video games are not what they claim to be. So I signed up for this video game. Yeah. And it's exactly what they said. Those are the ones that.
By the way,
Go ahead,
lo-fi
Jules.
lo-fi is good because my dog will only listen to lo-fi when I'm gone, and it's like
Alright.
it's like the softcore
I've got a
porn
few
of
things this
music.
time too.
Okay, give me one,
No.
because then we're gonna wrap up. 'Cause we're
Alright, okay.
approaching the
Let
hour.
me just say, I think ads are the best thing only because what? No, you can't take my car and run away. Yes, I can. I have 200 million power in Rise of Kingdoms. I think it's the funniest stuff ever. That is the funniest stuff ever. And wait, real quick. I would just like to say I'm in fear of that guy because he has 1307 chess score. I have like 400. I am like quaking.
Right.
My timbers are shivering.
Yeah. Don't play Greg. He will win.
On the topic
All right.
of advertisements, has anyone here actually gotten Raid Shadow Legends?
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna sit here and look guilty. I saw enough of those damn ads that I decided.
I did get it.
Yeah.
Did the ads stop when you got the game?
No, not at all.
I
All right, Cass, you got a comment?
Okay, yeah, me personally, premium is still $12 for me a month.
12.
Yeah.
That's like almost as old as I am.
Okay, but like it's not $15 because like when I went to sign up for it, because like my free trial ran out. When I went to sign up for it, it said $15.99, but then it was $11.99.
And you can
Anyway.
do that because you got a job.
Yeah, I do. I do pay for my own
Independent
premium.
woman. INDEP.
And I love YouTube Premium. Me personally, I also love ads, but I love YouTube Premium more. So,
Mr. Alex, what do you think?
I think what I hate is all this miracle medicine that heal everything, but they have more list of the side effects than the
Right?
healing.
Right?
You
Sorta
know,
like
and
my
they
dick pills.
yeah, they speed up the
pills.
yeah,
Coochie
they speed
pills.
up the side effects so fast. There is only one exception, you know. Everybody knows that it's called Viagra.
Right. The little purple pill. No, that's prednisone. No, yeah, never mind. It's the blue pill. That's the one. All right. Let's see. So we are literally coming right up on our hour end time. So Julian, go ahead.
All right, one last thing. I've been checkmated in like 7 moves. I'm like, I don't even know what happened. I looked away a couple seconds, and then there was 2 bishops that angled from me. There was like 2 of the worst things.
I
Greg,
distinctly remember saying,
Bro,
"Don't
come
play
on, take
Greg.
it easy on
You
him.
will lose."
Go harder.
Yeah.
It's just mean, Greg.
All right. So I just want to check because it's been a while. Evo, have we talked to Susan in
No,
marketing?
we haven't talked to Susan. We don't have a sponsor today. But speaking of ads, I want to say that Ben, the failure guy, is here, and he's the host of a great podcast called The Failure Guy. And I encourage all our listeners or listener to go and listen to Ben the Failure Guy, because it's quite an illuminating podcast, and it's very, very interesting, and we can all learn from failure. So it's really, really good. And one more thing about social media: how do you feel about those unboxing videos?
So,
Everybody loves opening new stuff, right?
Those are the real ones. The fake ones are the real ones.
No, the real ones.
The real ones. Everybody loves opening new, item. So I think a lot of people capitalized on this. I think they've taken it a little bit too far.
If you go back to the unbox therapy guy, like the guys that started it, like they still do a fantastic job. But there's too many, and like Julian said, there's fake ones even.
Is it the same reptilian part of the brain that engages with unboxing that also is responsible for pimple popper phenomenon?
Yes, yes.
I think people see that. I don't know. I can't watch those things, but a lot of people love that. It's like something that's about to burst, but hasn't yet.
Yeah.
And it's like the bubble wrappers that you
Plastic
want to
bubble wrap,
and
yeah.
people want to see it popped
Uh-huh.
and released. Yeah,
That's it. The release of the tension. So
interesting.
No, I think that there's got to be like some kind of component to that, at least, that is just buried down in our brain. We like to see that release of tension. The same reason we like to see even fireworks, or even
or Trump
like
arrested,
or Trump arrest. right? All right, Jules.
I would just like to say I like fake unboxing videos because the formula is like, hey, what's up, guys? It's me, and then some random, like, I don't know, Derek. Some guy named Derek. Today we're going to be unboxing this $5 mystery box I got on the dark web. Make sure to go to honey.com/Derek for a free 15% discount on freemium.
Yeah.
And okay, guys, let's get into the unboxing.
Yeah, I got it from some guy named Kaczynski.
3 iPhone 14s, 4 AirPods, $700 in cash, and the diesel house.
Or how they make like a simple video, like what is Poland's greatest dish, and they have 10 parts of TikTok videos. of how Poland's greatest dish is like, I don't know, like beer or like roasted penguins or something.
No, it's
Roasted
10
penguins.
parts, and they're
I don't know.
no, it's 10 parts, and they're making it, but each step is one part. So like pouring the flour, okay, come to the next part. Mixing the flour, okay, come to the next part.
Right.
Putting in the eggs, okay.
That annoys me to know.
I want to mention how impressed I am that Sofia laughed at Mike Kaczynski joke because I did not expect her to know who Ted Kaczynski is, and the young generation knows a lot. It is very, very, very impressive.
Yeah,
Good
I know your
job.
deeper
Impressive and
secret.
inspiring. Like we might not be raising a group of idiots, so maybe this whole Trump thing won't happen again. We can hope.
Yeah, you're cute.
History repeats, man.
Right. All right. Well, I think that is it. I'm going to thank everybody for showing up. That includes Evo, Fernando, Chris, Meredith, Julian, Cassidy,
Hi.
Greg, Alex, Boyan, Constantine, Sofia, Jane, and Ben. Thank you for showing up. Please come back.
Thank you.
And
Thrilled to be here.
I just want to say
Jesus and Nelson Mandela.
I am
Sponsors today.
Louis Walton. I've been your host, and thank you for listening to Wednesday Night Undressed.
Yay!